Most Go High Level users have no idea how powerful Claude AI is once it's properly connected. And in this video, I am joined by Sean, an official Anthropic partner who's going to show us the 3 easiest ways to connect Claude AI with Go High Level so you can have the AI do the work for you. All right, guys, this is going to be possibly the most in-depth video I have done on the Claude Go High Level connection. And I have here Sean, who actually is part of Anthropic. Sean, quickly tell us why they should listen to you, because I've been trying to get this video with you for a while. And this is going to change, the connection with Claude Go High Level, because we have an actual expert here. So let's quickly let them know about that before we jump in, because this is going to be huge, man.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show, Declan. I'm a big fan of yours. Watch all your stuff. Love you. You're amazing. And so today we're actually going to dive into the different Claude levels for GHL users. Yes, I am a preferred partner with Anthropic. They started a partner program back in March, and I jumped on it right away because I'm very bullish on Claude and Anthropic and what they're building for a lot of reasons. We can go deeper on that a little bit later, but I was lucky enough to become a preferred partner with them, which basically means I have to learn Claude code very deeply, and then I can start servicing some of their clients as well. So what we're going to cover is Claude levels for Go High Level users, because Go High Level is one of those platforms that has this ability for us to go super deep. So we're going to talk about the right tool, the right job, and the right level of access. Does that make sense, Declan? We're still, yeah?
Dude, I'm super pumped. Let's just jump right into it.
Okay, yeah. So here we go. So why do you need to know this? Well, once you know where to start with Claude, everything changes. So like as an example, if you have a developer, you can get rid of those developers, right? You can build things through your terminal, which I'm going to explain, with complex GHL logic, API calls, custom automations, and there's no dev required. That's the best part about it. Secondly, you could stop copy and pasting forever when you build this correctly. And then third, we can actually turn AI from a toy into infrastructure, because a lot of people use Claude like Google. Right? All these new Gen Alphas that are coming through, they're just like, instead of going to Google, everybody goes to Claude. Everybody goes to their favorite AI tool. And so today we're going to kind of talk about this. And most people think you need to be a developer to actually use Claude with Go High Level. It's not the case. Claude Chat and Claude Code Web require zero coding. You can do things like scoring leads. What's the lead value of this person? You can write workflows. You can fix broken automations using nothing but copy, paste, and plain English. And that's where you should start today. I'll kind of share with that. The second thing other people think is like, hold on a second, Claude's just like a chatbot. It can't really run my business, can it, Sean? And the fact of the matter is, at level 3, Claude monitors your Go High Level pipelines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, qualifies inbound leads for you, moves stages, drafts replies, sends nightly reports if you wanted to. That's not a chatbot. You can actually set up an automated employee. This sticking with you so far, Declan?
100%, man. I actually just wanted to insert this because it's really important. But essentially, guys, all the other videos we have done on the Claude High Level connection so far, because I've done a couple, they've only scratched the surface. Like Sean said before, he is super deep into this. I mean, he is very high up in this space, and he actually uses this to run different kinds of businesses. So like, guys, this isn't just like he just said there. This isn't just a chat bot. He is going to be showing you how to run a business with AI. So keep going, Sean. I'm just absolutely pumped, dude.
Yeah. So who am I? I'm an 8-time founder. I've had 2 exits. I've closed over $200 million. I am the right person to get into this space because I've just been there, and I'm building my personal, like I'm learning from Declan on how to build a YouTube channel. Yes, I have one. But I'm also like, hopefully, adding a lot of value to you here on Declan's channel. And I'm building this channel with Declan because we were tired of just manually doing what a system should be doing for people. And we wanted to show how others can actually use the tech, Claude AI and Claude Code, all the way into Go High Level, and how the two like sync, right? And it's not as hard as most people think. So I'm going to start with level 1. Level 1 is the free level. This is the level that everybody should start on. You probably already have this level. This is a browser-based chat. I think of level 1 Claude Chat as my consultant. So if you ever hire a consultant, what you're thinking about is like, I go to the consultant, I say, here's my problem. And the consultant says, here's the solution. Back and forth. Think of it in text, right? The limitation is at this level, Claude does not see anything inside your Go High Level account. You just paste data in, and it pastes output back. It's manual, but it's very, very powerful. And you've probably been testing and trying some of this stuff. And so here's some great use cases of where and how GoHighLevel can play very nicely with Claude, right? Who's this for? This is for everyone, day one, with zero technical skill required. The free tier is absolutely sufficient to start generating value. First one is this. If you've ever had struggled writing email follow-up sequences, you might have even done this before. You go into Claude and you say, hey, I want an email sequence. And then you go, boom, like a consultant. The consultant will say, okay, boom, here's an email sequence that you could start with and play with. So that's a great use case. Declan, you ever done that before?
Not with Claude. No.
Okay, so this is going to be really powerful for you, right? So secondly is drafting cold DMs, right? So I have a software company and it runs DMs for founders, helps them to close deals. Declan's played with it and used it before. And this idea is you can actually tie in Claude and Claude Code to help you craft DMs that are in your voice to do the thing. That's another great use case there. Third one is mapping your funnel logic. If you're building a funnel in GoHighLevel, you can say, hey, look, I have this workflow of emails connected to this funnel, but something's missing. And so you can go to Claude AI and you could say, hey, Mr. Claude AI is my consultant, web-based, free version. I'm struggling. This is what I have set up. What's broken? And it will analyze what's broken and say, here's what's broken. And then you can go step by step by step and fix it. I do this a lot by just taking screenshots, pasting it into Claude, and it kicks out the right answers. Next one is rewriting a weak offer for your funnel page. So if you have a funnel inside of GoHighLevel and you have the copy on there and you're like, man, I'm not getting the traction. Maybe you're not getting the opt-ins that you want or the clients that you're trying to get. Well, you can take your current offer, whatever it is, pump it into Claude. It will actually kick out the exact funnel stuff that you need for your offer, which I think is awesome. And then lastly here, troubleshooting a GHL automation by describing it and what's wrong. So if you have an automation that doesn't seem to be clicking, maybe your leads aren't coming in here or something's happening there, you can just use Claude AI and ask kind of what's happening. So I have a free giveaway for everybody because I want you to start, as you're listening to this video, this is like the most valuable part. This is how you can train Claude to be ahead of all your competitors. You ready for this, Declan? This is really good.
Dude, I'm very excited. I'm going to be taking this myself.
Okay, cool. So right here, there's a doc that we created. It's called the Closer's Blueprint. It's the Claude plus your GHL SOP. So GoHighLevel standard operating procedure template. And what is this? Well, it's the most simple way to train Claude Web so it already knows everything about you. Train it once, run it forever. That's the idea. So we turn Claude from a generic tool into a team member who's already trained on your business, and it gives you this incredible strategic advantage over your competitors. So I'm going to come out of screen share for a second, and I'm going to show you. So if you click on this link here, down here, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. Okay. This page.
By the way, guys, real quick, this is going to be right down below in a form. So.
Oh, that's right. All right.
But continue.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll get over here to this page, and then you just click this make a copy button, and this template's going to kick out for you. Okay. When this template kicks out for you, you can obviously read the directions and you can go through it. How do you use it, right? So you're going to open your Claude. You're going to go into projects, which I'm going to show you in a second. We're going to add this instructions in. All you do is you copy and paste from here all the way down to the bottom of this prompt, which is right down here. It'll say stop at the end. It's way down here on page, like whatever it is, after section 8. So you just copy all that right there. So, and then you would paste it wherever. You can actually like use your document and write it. So here's a version that I built. Okay, so this is for me and for my stuff. So I just went through and I filled out all the stuff. So I'm just going to select all, and I'm going to copy this. I'm going to show you how to do it. So now I go into Claude. This is the free version of Claude, right? So I have Claude. It's open. I could start up a chat. I could do whatever. Or here's the way to do this. When you're building for your business, click on projects on the left-hand side over here. And then right here, new project. And then you're going to call this one, I'll call this one Closer's Blueprint. Call it whatever the name of your business is, right? And then like basically what you're trying to get out of this project. So it's like get new clients, right? So that's the first thing we're going to do, create the project. Now the project is, think of this like a brain. Okay. So like you can put stuff into the brain as memory, and we're going to come up to this instructions side on the right-hand side, and we're going to click open. And then all we're going to do is paste that whole workflow. There it is. All of this stuff about my business. Now you do have to go through this and like fill it out and make sure that it's your business, who you're searching for, and so on and so forth. Then you hit save instructions. When you're done with this project knows everything about you. And so now it's insane, because here's what happens, right? Write an email sequence that gets people to opt in, make it 3 emails big, right? So watch this. I just very generic prompt that I pump in here into this free plan. It looks at all the design skills. It looks at my instructions, and guess what happens? It just said, oh, you like Gary Halbert. I see that. I know Sean's voice. I'm ready to build the thing. And it's going to spit out these perfect email sequences in my brand, in my voice, for my company. Okay. So this is the first step. This is something you can do for absolutely free. So here it is. It's an email 1, the system I wish I had in a year. It's formatted the way that I like. It's got my link in here. Like, it's all ready to go. Like, all I have to do now is copy this email, go into my HighLevel account, build a workflow, paste it in there, and I'm off and running to the races. So again, the point is, in your projects tab, now I have my project here. You can see all you do is you open a new project and you put in your instructions. Declan, I'm going to come back to you before we keep going. Does this make sense?
Dude, yeah, this is insane.
Okay, because this is then going to allow you to not only build email sequences, it's going to allow you to build funnels, it's going to allow you to build graphics, it's going to allow you to do everything that you want, that you can just morph it right into GoHighLevel. Now, remember the level that you're on. This is level 1. This is the consultant, Claude the consultant. That's who we're talking to. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over here and screen share. We'll keep going. Hopefully that was valuable. Again, use the form below. Grab this blueprint for yourself, fill it out, put it into your first project, and guess what? You're going to start winning right off the get. Let's keep going. Level.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was level 1. That's the consultant. Now we're going to move a little bit deeper. Okay, so level 2 is what we call Claude Code. You've probably seen a bunch of stuff all over the place about Claude Code. Claude Code, think of it this way. There's kind of 2 versions of Claude Code. There's one that's web-based, which is level 2, and then there's one that's not web-based, which is terminal-based or your computer-based, which is level 3. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Claude Code does take an actual paid membership inside of Claude. Okay, you can get the lowest tier and you can have access to Claude Code. Claude Code is, I think of this as like the analyst. So we have the consultant where we go and we type and we ask you questions and it kicks us text. Now we have this Claude Code web-based in the cloud, where what we can do is we can write and edit and execute code. We can upload and paste data, and Claude works on it. The limitation here is it doesn't run automatically. You just have to initiate it each time. So think of this as your data analyst. If you go to a data analyst, you say, hey, I need this done. I want a web page completely built and done for me. Create everything I need for it. So that's so like, I think of it this way. The consultants, you can ask back and forth questions. The web-based version is where you want to do complex projects one-off. Hey, I need a funnel built in GoHighLevel and I need all this stuff done. Go do it for me. That's what the Claude Code web piece will do. Okay. Or you can say, hey, I need to edit this list of, basically you can put a whole list of all your prospects in there and it can lead score them for you. That's like a one-off kind of complicated project that it will use different tasks and tools to get done for you. So that's the code. And you come into code. Code looks very similar to what just the Claude AI consultant that we just went over kind of covers. And they continue to morph together, but Claude Code has way more functionality than just Claude. So if you're doing a one-off deep project, this is a very, very, very good tool to use, right? So who's this for? Business owners who want leverage without hiring a developer. Here's a couple of use cases, okay? So the first one is this. Let's say you have a bunch of GHL contacts already in your account and you want to score them against your ICP. Maybe you have an ICP list where you're like, hey, it has to be in America, speaking English, with a business this size and all the other requirements. So you could tell Claude Code Web that, and then you can upload your contacts and you could say, rank my prospects. And it'll be either, red, green, or blue, or you could do 1 through 10 or however you want to do it. And it will build out this whole system for you that ranks all of your prospects for you. So now you can just chase the A-lister leads. Next one is pasting messy Zapier make webhook payloads. Claude can write custom trigger logic. So if you're using Zapier to connect things, right? So maybe you get a new lead in Go High Level and you wanted to kick it out onto a spreadsheet or something like that, and there is a break. Claude Code becomes a very great tool to say, hey, my Zapier looks like this. Take a screenshot, pump it into Claude Code Web, and say, I need the outcome to be this. Remember, I think that the best description I can share here is like modern day marketers are always like, why does it work that way? Why? How does it do it? How does it work that way? The new question we need to be asking in 2026 is, what do you want? What's the outcome you want out? And if you give it the bigger picture, like, hey, I want this. That's the final product. And then Claude Code Web will actually go give that for you. You can upload a call transcript. So if you're taking sales calls, download the transcript, upload it into Claude Code Web, and say, pull out all the objections, write CRM notes and follow-ups, put it into my drafts for me, right? Very good use case to save a bunch of time from a sales perspective. That's a great one. Another one, pasting your workflow, your JSON workflow. Claude can actually audit it and find anything that's broken in your code. So if you do have some code and you're a little bit more advanced.
Awesome.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about that before? Like, this is amazing tool for this.
I've used ChatGPT, but yet I get that. I get the idea. I've seen it. It's insane. It's like literally solves problems way faster.
And the reason that Claude, I think, is superior in terms of like other AI tools. Now, everyone has pros and cons, but I would say the biggest piece with Claude is this thing called tools. See, because when you start to use Claude, what happens is you say, hey, tell me this thing, or hey, read this file. Claude Code, the consultant, can't read a file. So it has to execute on something called a tool. So you write, hey, read this file, and it goes in and it sends a message saying, we need this file. Well, then the LLM doesn't know what's in the file. So it has to come back to the brain of Claude and say, I don't know what's in the file. I can't read the file. That would usually be the output. But then Claude says, hold on, you're looking for something in this file. I'm going to use this tool that I have on my shelf. I'm going to read the code. Okay, now I know what's in the file. Now I can send the contents back to the person asking the question. So that's the idea, is like Claude Code uses tools far superior than all the other AI tech that's out there. And this is the part that I think most people miss, right? Because GPT doesn't have that. Gemini doesn't have that. Gemini's got data. Claude doesn't. Like we could go back and forth on all of that. Last one's a one-time migration. Let's say you have something other than Go High Level and you want to migrate into Go High Level. You can actually build a mapping field for how you move everything over from one to the other platform very, very fast. So Claude Code is a very great use case for that.
I hope you're loving this video, but more importantly, if you want to learn how to sell things like Claude AI and Go High Level together, I have a free community you can join right down below. It's going to give you all the hand-holding you need to do this. I'm talking a private community full of winners where you can ask questions and stay motivated 24/7. I'm talking every training module and pre-built out system you could possibly need on this journey, sales scripts, the whole 9 yards, even white label content. But most importantly, you get access to 7 live coaching calls for free every single week. So if you want to talk to me about how to sell this stuff and work it, you can talk to me on Zoom. And as you see right here, it's free. We have calls on how to get clients, help with sales, how to get clients advanced. That's like scaling and running ads, how to learn Go High Level better, how to get help with Go High Level, how to set up Go High Level systems, and you can message me whenever you want. So if you're new to Go High Level, just go down below, sign up with that 30-day free trial link, and then get access to my community automatically. And here's the cool part. I've made this free. And if you try it, okay, and after 30 days, you don't like Go High Level, you can cancel and it costs you nothing. Yes, I am that sure this is the best free community out there that I'm willing to give you everything for free for 30 days. Now, the community will also be free after the 30 days once you use the software, but you have to use the software in order to get access to it. But again, it's a community. It's all the training and resources you could possibly need, plus all of these live coaching calls. Even with me, if you want to talk to me like, well, how do you sell this Claude AI stuff to business owners? We have you covered. And again, it is all free. And you get access to this when you go right down below and you sign up with that 30-day free trial link, or you upgrade on that link, or if you've already fully upgraded with High Level and you already have it, there's another link you can check out. So guys, if that interests you, go down below and check it out because it is the best community you are going to find on this subject. Otherwise, back to the video.
On my channel, I'm going to have every video for every one of these use cases at some point. Like that's what I'm building is and we can talk about doing any of these together that you want to.
Of course. Of course.
Okay. So that's Claude Code Web. Now let's talk about the third version. This is the version I love the most. Okay. So we have Claude AI, which is our consultant. We have Claude Code web-based, which is like my deep analyst that I'd pay one-off for a big project.
Yep.
And then the third one is the terminal. The terminal, if you see this picture on the right, it's on my desktop. So I load my terminal. Everyone has a terminal on their computer, and then you load Claude Code onto your personal machine, right? So it's installed locally on your computer, connects directly to your GHL via an API key, very easy to do. And then you could set up webhooks and MCP servers and trigger things automatically. This is where you get into the automated agent that's running for you all the time. Now, here's some use cases that are probably going to explode your brains. Okay. So this is why I use Terminal. Like, this is the important part. Live inbox agent. Who wants to sit there and respond to every single lead that comes in that's qualified? So what we use a live inbox agent for is we use the terminal and we say every new conversation that pops into GHL, we run an API back into Claude Code terminal on my computer, and it qualifies that lead. It scores them against my criteria. It moves them to the right pipeline. It creates a personal reply and drops it in the inbox. So all I have to do when I'm ready is I open the inbox. I'm like, oh, send that message. It's perfect. Or I can edit it and then I can send it. So that's an amazing feature. And you can set it up to run on autopilot if you really want.
Wait, Sean, quick question, because this is really, really important. Is level 3 the kind of agent where most people assume the other ones are, where it's on your computer working? Is that what level 3 is?
Yeah. So think of it
I know
like,
a lot of people get confused at I know you just went over all of them, but a lot of people are like, when they hear Claude agents and Claude Code, they mix all of them. So is this the one that's like on your computer doing shit as if like a human would?
Correct. So think about, you just go Claude.ai and then you can chat. That's the consultant. Now you go Claude AI and you click on the code, and that will take you into the web-based version of Claude Code. Okay. And that's the one where you can do the other things. And now the thing that if you want it to run all the time, the one on your computer, this is the terminal. That's what we're talking about. Yes. Second thing, great use case here is contact enrichment. You can take every new contact that enters GHL through like a form or an opt-in or anything like that. Claude will do research on that particular person. It will write them a personalized first touch message if you wanted them to do that. And it can even attach the message to a contact record all automatically without you ever doing anything, right? Pretty insane. Two more use cases that I think are really, really powerful. This one will run at midnight every night. So you just have this thing set up to run at midnight every night. It checks all your open opportunities. It'll send you either a Slack report of stale deals or missing follow-ups that you need to jump on the next morning. So think of this as somebody just catching all the prospects that are falling through the cracks. And in the morning, it's like, here's your report. You need to send this many emails to these 10 people. And then you have 15 new people that you have to send a DM. Here's the DM draft if you want to do it. And then, by the way, you can say execute, and it can go send those things for you on intentionally. So the pipeline audit, I think, is a really cool feature. And then lastly is post-call automation, right? So say you did a call with somebody, sales call, the call ends, the transcript can be automatically sucked into Claude Code from GoHighLevel. It will write all the notes out for you. It'll create all the follow-up drafts that you can send in the emails. It can put a task. It could put a note in there, all before you basically hang up the phone. So like you can trigger this thing to do all of this for you all the time. So this is saving you hours and hours of time every single week. This is also saving you from having to hire other employees that do these things. Back to you, Declan. Is there any thoughts on this one so far?
No, it's insane. Just keep going. Keep going.
Dude. So let's keep going here. Okay. So here's the progression. So like if you're just getting started and you would call yourself a novice AI person, chat is the right place to start. Claude.ai, this is your consultant, right? You bring the data, manual output, zero setup, free tier, Claude.ai. It's more kind of copy and paste from Claude into GHL. Now we get into level 2, which is that kind of that web-based system where you upload one-off complex projects and then it'll run. And then you've got version 3. Now, here's another use case that I do, right? So I have a podcast that I run. It's an AI podcast. And so I know that AI podcasts run all the time. It is a complex project, but it's running consistently. I would choose Terminal over web-based for that project because I can trigger it to run every Monday. I say, run Project Piper the podcaster, and I name the agent Piper. And what Piper does is it will go do the research on the best thing on the internet that's getting the most engagement, most downloads for this episode. It will pull the scripts. It'll compare the scripts to the best one. It'll push it through my voice. It kicks out a new script. It pushes that script over into like an 11 Labs type of software. It'll kick out the audio file for me, puts it in a folder on my computer. And then all I have to do is I have like a VA that will come in, grab the episode, publish it. It gives me the show notes. It gives me the SEO and descriptions. And all I do is say, run Project Piper. So it took me one time to set that up on my terminal. And I say, I want this project to run every single Monday at like 8 a.m. And then so by 10 a.m., I have the next 2 or 3 episodes that I'm ready to publish for the week. And I just said, run Project Piper. That's how you can do it for like, it's pretty amazing because you could do it for YouTube videos. You could do it for content on social. The terminal is the complex builder that actually will do a complex task over and over and create a new podcast for me every week, or create a new YouTube segment for me every week, right? And if you're doing like, hey, I just need a funnel, then maybe like Claude Code web-based is better. Hey, build me this landing page with my copy and my voice and my thing. That's kind of a one-off build. And so those are the big differences. If you're just getting started, start with Claude.ai. If you have a one-off complex project, use Claude Code Web. And then if you have a complex project that's recurring, that's when you want to start diving into the terminal. Does that make sense?
100%, man. 100%.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So the number one challenge is not learning Claude, it's just knowing where to start. I think I gave you a pretty good outcome for that. Most people either start too advanced, they try to jump in the weeds and they get lost, or they never graduate past the first part and they're leaving like tens of thousands of dollars in new sales on the table. We don't want that to be. So if you have 0 GHL automations and you want to get things going live, start at level 1. Build and ship an email sequence. Just test that. Build the email sequence. Easy thing to do. I showed you how to do it. If you have GHL running, but leads are falling through the cracks, this is where you want to move to level 2, and you can lead score. You can set up ICPs and some other things there. And then, of course, if your agency is serving 5 or more clients and you're doing manual work, this is where you want to bring in that automated employee to kind of crush on some of those other tasks. Your next move is easy. Just get started right now. Claude.ai is free. Go over there, dial that in. And of course, Declan has some starter snapshots and everything else. Okay. With that said, that's all I had for the presentation so far today.
Wow, Sean, that was absolutely amazing, man. Thanks again for being here. We're going to be linking a video at the end of this video. It's going to be the setup of Claude and GoHighLevel, so don't worry, we have that covered. But what can we expect from you in the future, man? Because obviously you're in Anthropic. You're actually one of the guys on the ground that's doing this, man. You're an expert. We see a lot of awards behind you. You clearly know what you're saying. So what can they expect in the future, man? Because this is just a wealth of info, man.
Yeah, well, like I do believe that AI is going to continue to, like, it's moving so fast. It's even hard to kind of keep up these days, even as a preferred partner. The learning and everything that I'm going through, like, like my main focus is how do we close deals? Because if I can help someone listening close a deal, that means they've impacted and served someone else, and they probably got paid in the process. So they're starting to build their dream life. And if that's what you're trying to accomplish, then what you can expect from me and Declan is how do we have more use cases of how Claude Code works with GHL, specific examples. And I gave you a bunch of them, like writing a follow-up sequence, pasting it into GHL. That's one. Drafting DMs. How do you hook up Claude to like respond in your DMs? Maybe mapping funnel logic, building those, retweaking or building a new offer. There's like a ton of other videos, like the lead scoring thing. I'm going to build a true video on that. We can build one on that. Maybe using like workflows from Zapier and Make and do something like that, or even doing like call reviews from sales side. Again, on the closing end of this, right? So like, I'm not as good at GoHighLevel as you are. But what I will say is that I focus on using the tool to get the outcome that I truly want instead of just geeking out on the tech. And so I think like what's coming is videos that are going to show you step by step how you integrate these two things so that you can win without putting all the time and energy into it.
I love that. And guys, if you guys have anything you want to see, just like Sean listed, just drop in the comments down below.
Yeah.
Get something started. So Sean, thanks again, man. I can't wait to see you in the next video, man.
Yeah. Thanks, Declan. I appreciate you, man.
All right, guys. So now we're going to link a video that's going to be the entire Claude setup. So thanks for watching, and watch the video that pops up right now.